What's up, Exiles? Welcome back for another build guide video. My name is Shifty, and I'm back to bring to you my league starter for 3.27 Keepers of the Flame. So my league starter is going to be CI Ascendant Kinetic Rain. Kinetic Rain is a new wand skill that is being added in 3.27, and it looks strong mechanically and numbers wise as well. Let's take a look at it here. I'm currently extremely busy with moving into a new place, so this build is going to be a little bit less thorough than my normal league starters, but it should be very strong and sufficient to get you through maps and into the end game. So as you can see from watching some of the footage and seeing the skill in action, the skill can overlap for one. It can overlap for one, and it seems to hit pretty hard. We do have the damage numbers, which I will bring up shortly. And yeah, it has very good damage effectiveness. The damage on the gem is 143% damage effectiveness, and then after that it spawns an anomaly, like a little orb which explodes after a delay, and that does a damage effectiveness of 162. This would make it already the best wanding skill if it just hit once, and it looks like it'll usually hit twice based off looking at this clip. I'm not sure, but it definitely looks like it's hitting at least twice, and if it does, it should be strong, very strong. So I'm just putting all my eggs in one basket and hoping it is good, you know. And if it's not, we can always pivot to Kinetic Blast, which is the best clearing skill in the game. So I'm not too worried about that. Everything should double over for both builds. The gems would be slightly different if we had to play Kinetic Blast, but I don't think that's going to happen. Let's swap over to the POB here, and let me move my camera very quickly. Right. So I broke down the tree into nice little easy to digest segments. And we're going to just start from the top here. So at level 14, so we are an Ascendant. So typically an Ascendant is a little bit weaker early on. It doesn't have as good as base stats, and it takes longer to get to like the good juicy nodes. So it's weaker early. So to compensate for that, we're going to take a lot of these nodes that are close to the start here for some early power. We will respec these later. So as you can see, we path over here, we get some attack speed, all this here. We get some movement speed, like all very good stuff, and it's going to help us breeze through the axe early on. We do pick up mana reservation. It's going to help us get an extra herald and be able to still have precision and all that early on, which we'll need. We're going to get some movement speed here, and we're going to rush for +1 proj. And that's going to be our lab 1. On our first lab, as an Ascendant, we actually don't get anything, so I'm recommending you just get some double stats here. It'll help you with stat requirements early, and this will give you some life. Okay, so in lab number 2, why is this here? I accidentally clicked something. Lab number 2, you'll be around level 57, or actually 60 according to this. You will be coming up here for the wand nodes. Along the way, you'll grab the life nodes along the way, some accuracy wheel, which you will need around that time, and these leech nodes here. You will end up dropping these leech nodes later, but for now, they're pretty good. Okay, so in lab number 2, we are grabbing Deadeye. We're getting Tailwind, +1 proj. Mark effect and frenzy charge generation. Very, very good. This is like the main reason why we're going Ascendant. I was gonna go Deadeye potentially, but I don't know. I felt it's definitely not flexible enough to go CI, for one, and for two, I don't know, I just wanted to be a little bit different, and I like Ascendant because it does add a lot of flexibility. So for lab number 3, we are going for Slayer. We're doing this early on. As I said, this is a chaos inoculation build, but early on, so leveling, we're gonna be playing life based. Okay, so we're gonna get Slayer, and we're gonna grab more life here. We're gonna start picking up frenzy charges. We're going to start expanding even further out this way, trying to get to another wand wheel, which will give us another +1 proj. Because up here we grabbed power charge on crit first. And then right about this point is when you want to start grabbing all of the crit nodes that you can probably do it before this point. You just want to make sure you have access to a good amount of them before you start specking into crit. It's not very viable to spec into like 20, 30, 40% crit and a bunch of crit multi when your crit rate is so low. Okay, so anyways, this is gonna be your tree around level 70 at lab 3. At lab 3 you're grabbing Slayer, as I said, and we're not going to take a lab 4. We're going to go straight into a Bloodline. So instead of changing our starting location, which would really do close to nothing for us, whether we started at Trickster or at Ranger, we're just going to go for the Bloodline for our 4th Ascendancy. Around level 92 you should look something like this. You will get to drop some of this reservation efficiency stuff because you're not going to need it as much anymore. You're probably not going to need precision anymore at this point in the game, etc., etc. But this is what your tree is going to look like roughly. This is pretty close. And then finally, oops. So your Bloodline, sorry, in the notes, here's your Bloodline. Early on, I'm recommending you King of the Mists. You're gonna rush Ritual and get King of the Mist down, and you're gonna get a +1 ring slot. You're gonna get an extra ring slot, and you're gonna lose all utility flasks. Instead of utility flasks, you're just gonna use a bunch of life flasks, instant life flasks, which are just gonna make you more survivable. 1 mana flask and a tincture. Late game, you have a couple options. You can get Hunt Leader from Feral, which gives you crit rate and attack speed, or you can go all and you get Precursor just release. That's the one where if you have empty slots, it gives you buffs. So we can get like stun immunity here. We can get chill. Your movement speed can't be reduced below base value. There's the ones that we're pretty much interested in if we were to go this route, but I'm probably going to recommend Feral. There's also the Consecrated Ground path, which I'm not really going to recommend for this build. I feel like that's really good if you go for a Fizz wand because of the Fizz's extra chaos at 30%. That's really good there. But I did throw some really basic stuff in the notes here. Level. You're gonna be life based until you go CI. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. I recommend you get suppressed gear after you get to maps around level 70. If you can get suppress on your gear, do it. I do grab suppress on the tree, help you out with that. After you go CI, you're gonna swap to only ES bases, so you're gonna do this all at once. You're not gonna do it one piece of gear at a time. You're gonna craft all your all your CI gear at once. You're gonna have like some decent gear at some pretty damn good gear before you swap, and I'm recommending you swap around level 92 on the tree, but it doesn't really matter. It's just as soon as you get like it doesn't actually doesn't specify when you swap, but the CI tree says 100, but really just swap whenever you have really good ES gear. I go over all the gear here. I have CI gear and Evasion gear. Evasion gear is pretty much just what you're going for early. This is just very, very basic stuff that I put in here. I didn't put any resistances. All the resistances I just padded here. These are just padding for resistances. That's because I expect you can figure out how to balance your resistances by now. If you can't, feel free to, you know, to comment in the description down below, how do I, you know, do this thing. But I think you probably figure out, you know, you just get a little, you know, get a res here, res there, res here, res there, until you get enough to balance it all out and get res capped. Okay, and you want to be LE weakness capped as well if you can. Okay, so, and then I'm not going to go too heavily over this. This is just like a tri-elemental wand with, it's just a, you know, a fucking perfect wand, no big deal. This is what you're going to shoot for. Then we have the CI gear here, which is pretty much everything gets upgraded. Everything goes to CI, ES bases. You're going for int pretty much on everything if you can get it. That's a luxury stat. But other than that, you're just looking for ES, and more ES. On rings and amulets, you can get flat damage to attacks, which is very, very good. That's primo. That's how you're going to get most of your damage is going to come from flat on rings, amulets, and jewels. See these jewels here? Your searching eye jewels are going to be your friends. This is going to be how you scale your damage very easily, or very effectively. The only thing that beats a searching eye jewel here is a nice juicy Watcher's Eye, you know. Percent increase there. I'm not asking for any crazy Watcher's Eyes. You could absolutely, for the CI version, you could probably go the recover ES every time you hit someone with a skill. The flat ES recovery to make you extra tanky. I'd recommend that one maybe on the Discipline Watcher's Eye. If you're looking for something expensive in late game, but other than that, I'm just recommending any Wrath Watcher's Eye that gives you some damage is good. If you happen to have like a really nice Fizz wand that has like all tier 1 physical damage stats, you know, tier 1 flat, tier 1%, and a hybrid, then you could go Hatred instead, and then you would the difference in the tree would be you'd go on this side right here. You take these two nodes instead of these two. That's the primary difference there. Main difference. There's some things that might change. I really haven't decided if I really want Whispers of Doom yet, or if the build needs it. I just kind of grabbed it as I needed 4 extra points to spend, and it felt good to just turn on LE weakness here. Now, so this is a very basic, simple build that should get you through the campaign and into maps. Okay, hoping this build finds you and that it helps you. I think I've gone over just about everything, right? Skills, trees, items. Very optional. I'm gonna test this and see how it feels. I have not played Ascendant Necromancer in a long time, and I don't remember how effective it is and how easy it is to get uptime on your offerings. I would have to look at it again, but it's something that I'm like maybe considering, and it would open the door for some things. But if you decide to go that instead of Trickster for the CI version, so you'll notice that we swap for when we go CI. Okay, I forgot to mention that. So from here we go from the life-based version to the CI version. We go from Slayer to Trickster. I forgot to mention that earlier. Yeah. Anyways, so if you were to go Necromancer and you were to cast all 3 offerings, you'd use this belt, and it would give you lots of buffs. Okay, if you were to use Lycia with the consecrated ground thing, you would use this ring. Okay, this wand with the int stacking isn't mandatory. You could absolutely use the same wand that I have in this other setup the whole way through. You don't need to do the int stacking wand if you don't want. It's like a minor damage increase. I mean, not minor. It's a good amount of damage increase, but nonetheless, is not mandatory to get this one upgrade. But all the other upgrades are pretty necessary. Bases are negotiable on rings and amulets, of course, and belts. Yeah, I just try to set you up with the kind of mods that you want to look for. You know, Crusader belt with the percent increased. Yes, Crusader rings with the percent. Yes. Yada yada yada. Nothing too crazy though. I mean, I did do like perfectly rolled stuff, but other than that, I didn't go for anything too crazy. As far as like, I didn't do like any simplex amulet or anything like that. And then I just kept the jewels very simple for simplicity's sake. But anyways, you can expect a build update from me like a week or two after the league starts. I'm gonna get a chance to play it myself. I am gonna league start this for sure. I'm going to be playing it all the way from level 12 until level 100. You do get Kinetic Rain at level 12. I mean, I'm not actually gonna go to level 100. There's very little chance that happens. But I'm definitely gonna play the fuck out of this league. I'm gonna have some fun with it. So I hope to see you guys there. I will be likely streaming league start. I'm gonna be moving on Wednesday like night, so I think my internet will be set up and stable by Friday. But you know, who knows? Life happens sometimes. But I will be playing this the heck out of this league. I will be updating this build, and you can expect a build update from me in the near future. Okay, about 1 to 2 weeks after the league comes out, I will min-max it and I will get it as good as I can get it, and then I will release another video. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to leave comments down below. I will respond to them. I respond to comments. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, yada yada. Catch you guys in the next one, okay? Thanks for watching.